Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 4 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Byzantines. And I have defeated the Turks. They are gone now. All that's left of them is these rebel forces that are holding these forts here in Syria and then Edessa. It is going to take 2 turns before this garrison here in Syria falls, and then it is going to take 3 turns before this fort here in Edessa falls. I'm thinking that I will just wait these out. It's unfortunate because that is going to likely cost me the castles or the forts in both instances. But I don't think that I'm ready to blitz the Egyptians anyway. I think that I do need to build up some forces here. So having the forts available right away so that I can quickly move on and attack the Egyptians is not really important, I don't think, because it's just, like I said, I'm not quite ready yet. As we saw in that last battle, my forces, when they're not designed to fight in the desert, they don't perform that well. And that brings up the question, what can I do to design a force that can attack and, fight well in the desert? It's going to be light armor, and there are a few Byzantine soldiers that really do rely on that armor being pretty good for them. The cataphracts being one of those units. And we saw that those units do struggle as well as, anything else with armor. So what can I bring instead? And there are some options. One of the things that the Byzantines have access to, I believe if I build a spearmaker out here in Bulgaria, I will have access to Slavic javelins. So I can train Slav warriors, and Slav javelins, I believe they will be available out here in Bulgaria. And that will be a nice tool to have. As you probably know by now, I like using my javelins, and they are a wonderful tool. They are really good for using their javelins against some, the bodyguard units. The bodyguard units of, Golem bodyguards in this case is going to be brought down by javelins. They're also decent at just chasing down archer units as well, just because they're light on their foot. And light on their feet, and they can fight and do okay against other archers. So that's why I like having those light infantry in that sense. In addition to that, spearmen, I believe, also fit the bill. Just basic, just run-of-the-mill spearmen. They should be good enough to stand their ground up against whatever cavalry or camelry that the Egyptians have. So that's javelins, that's spears, and then Trebizond archers as well, that I will be training from Trebizond with that +1 Valor bonus. That's a pretty good set of units. And then in addition to that, the tier 1 unit that's available for the Byzantines in regards to cavalry is just going to be basic horse archers. That is a unit that I can train from just my basic horse farmer, my tier 1 horse training building. I can actually train horse archers right away here in Armenia, which is pretty nice. So that's a pretty good core of units that I think that can do a good job of, driving back the Egyptians. Throw in a couple units of Byzantine infantry as well. I think their armor might be a little bit too heavy for the desert, but I'd have to double check that. But still, I think that they could do okay just to give me something to cut through the enemy forces. And then just like 1 unit of cataphracts just as my general, It looks like my heir did survive that. Okay, that's really good. Good. I forgot to check that at the end of last battle, so that's nice to see. This guy though, yeah, he's getting bad. He's very lazy now. He's a natural leader, and this is my heir. This is my actual next in line, so it'd be nice if he was good, but it looks like he's just gonna keep getting worse and worse and worse, which sucks, but oh well. So yeah, that's gonna be the idea going forward, is that I want to build up a force kind of like that, right? Light. So what would I need to do to get that force? I think that here in Nicaea, since I can train my Pronoi Legion with a +1 Valor bonus, that's a pretty good heavy cav unit. It's like a early heavy cav unit. My understanding is that it matches up pretty well with Feudal Knight, so it's like a low tier Catholic Knight unit, and I would like to train them here in Nicaea. So I believe that I'm going to need at least a spearmaker to get that going. I think I'd have to double check that as well. But that would give me a natural place to have spearmen built out, at least in the beginning of the campaign, as here in Nicaea, then archers from Trebizond, and then javelins from Bulgaria And that would be like the core, right? And I can get horse archers right here in Armenia right away. And also Odessa, they can also train horse archers here. So, yeah. Actually, probably not. Once I starve out this garrison, yeah, the fort probably will disappear. So, at least I'll have them here in Armenia, which will be nice. So, while I'm doing that, I will be focusing on my economy as well. I need to get that going. I'm only making 1,200 per turn, which is okay. I'm sitting on like 2,700 in the bank. That's okay, but still, it could be better. And it's going to have to be better as I, obviously build up my forces. And right now, I'm one turn away from having this gold mine finished here in Serbia. And I am working on my second boat here in Constantinople, but I will need to... It's probably time for me to start just building this trading post and get that going. I think, yeah, it's probably something I can do, and I can probably start building this town watch here in Nicaea, and then probably get a town watch here in Bulgaria as well. There's also this Georgia situation that needs to be resolved. You see, yeah, these rebels did take Georgia, and I need to remove them. There's 33 men left in this heavy cav unit, and I pretty much just have peasants to take them out. Now, I have an idea here. For one thing, I can... I know I can hire a mercenary spearman. Just get him going right away, and I can move him over right away. And then I was also thinking, so there's this guy, Basil Melicinas. Melicinas. Yes, him. So he has 3 acumen, 1 dread. He'd make an okay governor, wouldn't he? Well, it looks like I just happened to need a new governor for Trebizond. The last governor must have died in the battle in Syria. And look what this gives me, +2 command. Okay, well then. Don't mind if I do. It would be better if he was 4 acumen, but beggars can't be choosers. And I will take a 2-star general into this battle, even if it means putting him on a unit of peasants, that's fine. So yeah, what do we have? Like 5 units of peasants, plus a unit of spearmen. Do I want to bring 2 more units of peasants just to like make sure it's fine? I mean, Trebizond's fine. Yeah, let's drive these guys out of here. And I need to keep an eye on something else as well, to make sure that there is no loyalist rebellions from the Turks. It's important that I keep my population loyalty in all of their provinces, or provinces that used to belong to the Turks. It needs to be over 120% loyalty. If it dips down below that, it does not need to dip below 100%. It just needs to dip below 120%. And if they have any heirs that had not come of age, then there's a potential for a faction reemergence, and that's not what I want. So, because those can be very powerful, and that could wreck me. So it's going to be very important that I keep an eye on this and keep these territories that were theirs above 120% loyalty. So that all looks good. I should be able to take back Georgia, and this is going to be important as well because Georgia is one of my homeland's objectives, and this is going to be counted in just 2 turns, the year 1100. Right now it is the year 1098, so I need to have Georgia back so that I can get that 1 more point left. I'm looking to make, what is that, 15 points plus 16 with a conquest point because I have, conquered a few territories. So that's an okay, that's a decent little early grab there as far as points go. And is there anything else? I did notice that I have some peasants here in Greece that probably should be hanging out in Constantinople so that I can bump up the taxes here. That looks good. And there's one other thing I thought I noticed. Yeah, 4-star captain, or 4 acumen captain, John Argyros. You can be my governor of Cyprus. Oop, I forgot which one he is. Let me double check this. It's you, right? Yes, it is. So now Cyprus making 157. That's okay. And yeah, that should be it. So we will just be reclaiming Georgia and then, yeah, focusing on getting some of our military tech going in some of these provinces here in Nicaea and Bulgaria. Well, how about it, Khazar Royal Cavalrymen? You did deal with the 2 units of peasants, but can you deal with just this massive horde of peasants? backed up by some spearmen? Or will you back up onto this hill and seek a better place to fight me? I think this one's going to be straightforward enough. Just march forward and surround him. Get my guys in formation first. And it's basically just going to be, yeah, peasants. peasants, and peasants. I do have my spearmen in the back with my general peasant units here. And the idea is just to kind of swarm over him like an unwashed sea of filth and grime and sweat and dirt. And drown these invaders. And with that thought, it appears that the Khazar Royal Cavalrymen are thinking, no, no, no. They don't want any part in that. They're going to back off because they can see the writing that is on the wall. They cannot beat this. So they will be backing off, and Georgia is back under my control. That's right. I showed him. I sure showed him. He didn't want to face the wrath of the angry peasants that he mercilessly butchered in the last episode. Now Georgia's back in my control. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. So Syria is about to fall this turn. That's what I'd like to see. And then 2 more turns before Edessa falls. And yeah, that general's now a 3-star general, Lord Melesinas. Yeah. Wonderful. Gold mine is finished here in Serbia as well. Trebizond has the Boyar completed. And then the border fort is finished here in Rhodes. That was destroyed in the flood. Looks like the Novgorods, which are the Russians, they want to be allies. Yeah, absolutely. We are the only 2 Orthodox factions. We can be bros. I think so. Yeah. I have no intention of attacking them. And then who is this? So Prince Andronicus and Princess Mary. And is this England? Yeah, England wants to offer me one of their daughters? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have no intention of attacking England as well. So what do we got here? Anything? Let's see. Sacred Black Strange. Oh, that's too bad. My hero of Georgia, my guy that's now a 3-star general, just picked up Strange, which is a bad trait because this is going to be giving -1 morale to his entire army. Not to mention -10 happiness to the province that he governs, which happens to be Trebizond. So, yeah, that's not a good one. Unfortunately, I think Lord Melesinas is going to have to be relieved of his title at some point in this campaign. Not quite yet, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Poor guy. Yeah, he's starting to talk to invisible servants. Well, that's what comes with being a war hero, I suppose. Anything else that's, yeah, nothing else too important there. Alright, so Syria, I do not want you to be yellow. In fact, I don't want you to be 111 either. 111 is still too low. So, yeah, let's move some guys around if we can. Move some peasants there. 128, perfect. What I can start doing is bringing these horse archers that I'm training here in Armenia down to Syria to fill out and replace the damaged mercenary horse archers that I have in this army. Although, I want to wait 1 more turn because if I bring down any units into Syria in this turn, or Edessa for that matter, then those units will be taking casualties from the siege. So, I'm going to wait 1 more turn before the siege to be over, and then I'll start bringing down my horse archers, and then I can start disbanding some of these units to save a little bit more money. I can also bring this unit of Trebizond archers up to Rum, and they can eventually make their way to Trebizond so that they can be replenished, because now that Boyar is finished, now I can train my Trebizond archers there. That's going to be nice, and yeah, I'm going to have to do a little bit of maintenance on this army here, getting rid of some mercenaries that are too expensive, while at the same time trying to, you know, keep a solid presence here in Syria to make sure that the Egyptians do not sense a weakness. That's going to be key here going forward in the next few turns. Yeah, because yeah, so I'm holding a 3-province border, and Lesser Armenia is very much the weak spot right now. And I don't really have 3 armies available to hold all 3 provinces. What I would need to do essentially is to have forts in, you know, obviously Edessa and Syria built back up after they're going to be destroyed, I'm guessing, at the end of the next turn, and then basically just hold all 3 provinces with 1 army here in Edessa, while Syria and Lesser Armenia are being held by a garrison, a small garrison. That's probably going to be the play going forward. Oh no, no, the rebels have come back. No, I thought they were gone and they have come back. Oh no. I think this is the year 1100 as well. So does that mean I'm not going to get the point for the homeland's objective for this? Because I can't beat this. We've already seen what one of these guys can do against 2 peasants. Now that he has some support from a unit of... yeah, Stepcav. Oh, God. Yeah, I'm going to have to retreat to the stronghold on this one. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Damn. Damn. So I'm the richest. That's good. I got that. And Syria has fallen to my soldiers. Yeah, that fort is gone. I pillaged some money, not much. And then 1 more turn before the fort in Edessa falls to me. Town Watch has been finished here in Bulgaria. And then the Boyars finished as well here in Naples. Town Watch finished in Nicaea. And the trading post is finished here in Constantinople, so I can start trading my goods as soon as my boats are connecting some territories, some ports here. The Almohads want to be allies. That's fine too. I don't intend on attacking them, so... yeah. And then John Vatazes, most eloquent, so +2 piety and then +2 acumen. Okay, nice. I'll have to check on him because maybe I can use him as a governor. And then, why didn't I get the homelands, or the glorious achievements message? Year 1100. So I guess I still have this turn to push him off? Well, in that case, let's push him off then. I'm glad my guys are not far. So yeah, let's just grab all of my dudes and let's just go back. I guess I'll have to have like an actual military presence here in Georgia until, yeah, just for a while, I suppose. I would like to start building a port here in Naples so that I can eventually connect it to my my home territories, so then I can, you know, reinforce it. That will be nice. I will continue to train soldiers here. I have a boyar and a spearmaker now, which feels pretty good. Now I can get a bit of a well-rounded force going on. I think I'm going to go with just the basic archers just because they are cheaper to train, and also their upkeep is so much cheaper. Trebizond archers, 52 upkeep, and then 37 upkeep for the regular archers, yeah. Since I do not intend on actually fighting over here, hopefully just, you know, this is just a holding force, you know, as a show of force, basically, to make sure that the enemies do not attack me. That's all I'm really hoping for, so yeah, that's going to be the play there, and try to save some money. Try to save some money until I get some trade going here, because yeah, it's going pretty slow here with these boats coming out of Constantinople. I do want to eventually get boats going here on my islands, but that's going to require for me to build a keep, which costs 1,000 florins. I'm not really there yet. I want to, you know, right now I'm putting in a build order for a boat and a build order for a port. And that's like kind of it. That's all I can afford, really. And, oh yeah, and a fort here as well in Syria. So that's going to cost a little something something. Oh yeah, and I can train urban militia, so I can build a spearmaker here in Nicaea as well. Yeah. Okay. I need to get that. Lovely. So the rebels have retreated from Georgia. That's what I like to see. Hopefully that means that I get Georgia as part of my homeland's objectives for the points. Yes, that would be nice. Georgia's now mine. And yes, the siege in Edessa has fallen, so that's good. The Danes want an alliance as well. Totally. I will take it. And Lord Melicinus is now crack-brained. It's even getting worse. He was just staring at invisible servants, but now he's dancing in the moonbeams, painting his servants blue and sucking horseshoes. Yeah, -2 morale, -20 happiness. That's not good. That is not good, but you know what? At least he is defending Georgia. And why have I not gotten... It's interesting that... So, how did the points go? I got 15, but it looks like Georgia was not counted, because I should have 16 if that was counted, but that's not the case. I'm interested, why didn't I not get the screen? Why didn't I not get the trumpets and the image and the picture? Usually that's what happens during the home's objectives. That's kind of curious. It looks like this is all the same though. I would be making the same amount of points, 15, yeah, plus 16, so I'm ahead. That is good. I am ahead. The Almohads are right behind me with 14 points, and after that, the Germans and the Italians have 13 apiece. 12 for the English. And then 10 for the Sicilians. Man, 10, they got 10 off of just 2 provinces? Malta and Sicily? Damn. That's nice. Must be nice. So I guess I'll just kind of keep a stack of peasants in Georgia until the rebels stop leaving me alone. Yeah, I guess there's a... Holy shit, there's a stack of them. Wow. I did not know that's what they start the campaign with. Oh, yeah, no wonder why they're going after me. They sense weakness. Yeah, I am weak to that. Oh, God. Do I need to defend myself, like, better? Crap. Can I train mercenaries? Ooh, I could. I don't want to. These are some good ones, though. Huscarls are good heavy infantry. And then good, you know, decent swordsmen in the Arab infantry and the feudal men-at-arms. Spearmen, Drazina cavalry, which is a good, like, armor-piercing cav, like, has a mace or an axe, I think. And then, yeah, the Bulgarian brigands as well. That's a good group of mercenaries, but I don't want to do that because that looks expensive. Looks expensive. Let's retrain these guys. The fact that the Egyptians do have 3 emissaries sitting here in Syria spying on me makes me a bit nervous. Looking at the armies that I can see of the Egyptians, a lot of peasants, really, a lot of peasants and peasant tier soldiers like these urban militia here, so that's not, you know, too worrisome, but also the fact that they do have these generals down here in Arabia that are very, very good. They have that trait that gives +4 morale, which is fantastic, in addition to, you know, being a 6-star general and this guy being a 4-star general. So the Sultan himself is not great. It's only 3 stars, so that's not too worrisome. But yeah, my armies here in Syria, they're pretty weak, and I really don't want to start buying these mercenaries right now, just because I feel like I want to spend my money on my economy, get that going while I can train my native troops here in Bulgaria. And like I was saying, spearmen in Nicaea, horse archers in Armenia, like that should be pretty good, you know. Also, the Trebizond archers here in Trebizond, I can get those going. That feels like a better way to spend my money than to just go all out with those mercenaries. But we will see, you know, if they actually do attack me. It's gonna be time for me to think of something else. I'd still have 2 more turns before this fort's finished here in Syria as well, so if I can just hold out that much longer, then I consolidate my forces here in Edessa while holding that fort with a unit of peasants. That also would feel a bit better here, so fingers crossed. Hopefully I can hold out for at least 2 more turns here in Syria before they attack me, if they attack me. As we skip forward a few years, you will see that I have built a few more boats, and I'm just 1 boat away before I have reached the Adriatic. And that will be really nice because I have a port finished here in Naples, so that would be connecting Naples with my home territories, and that would be connecting the trade of Constantinople with the ports of Hungary and the papacy and Italy here in Venice as well. I could make some money off of that. Also, I mean, Naples itself could trade with these provinces as well with just 1 boat, so that would be nice. And that would just going to be a huge, huge leap in my income. However, even though we are allied with the Poles, the fact that they have a decent little force on my border makes me nervous. I've just kind of assumed that my western border would be pretty secure with a low set of forces throughout this entire opening, and I still mostly think that's true, but I'm just a little bit worried just because these factions are able to concentrate their forces a lot easier than I am. So just by bolstering, their core territories, they are also threatening mine. Whereas that's not the case for me. I have an actual frontier that I'm fighting on. And my core, conversely, is actually rather lightly defended. So the good news is, if I needed to hire mercenaries to fight in the west, I do have a good batch of mercenaries available now. They would be one turn away from going to Constantinople and being able to reinforce either Bulgaria or Greece. Bulgaria, I have, some forces that could come to Bulgaria's aid. For instance, if the Poles attacked, I have some troops that are kind of stationing here in Greece to eventually maybe reinforce either Serbia or Bulgaria. Also, Serbia does have my Varangian Guards as well, which is a good unit, so I'm not completely defenseless out here. It's just really one note. I basically just have infantry, heavy infantry out guarding my western coast, or west frontier, I should say, and any troops that any Slav javelin men that I'm training in Bulgaria, I'm sending east to fight in the desert, so that's not going to help me there. But I did just build, or I'm working on building a town watch here in Serbia, so I can start building native soldiers for this region. Slav warriors and Slav javelins. The Slav warriors just to hold the line, and javelins to punch through, any units attacking, of course. So that's going to be the play there. Hopefully no one attacks me, but, I want to be ready. And my income should really jump pretty soon here. I am working on getting my keeps being built in Cyprus, Rhodes, and Crete. Cyprus will be finished first in just a few, maybe 3 or 4 turns. And then Rhodes after that, and then Crete will be the last one to have a keep built. And then I can build the boathouse, I believe, is the building that allows me to actually build ships. And then I can switch my shipbuilding to my islands, and I can go back to training soldiers here in Constantinople, because this is my only province where I can train Byzantine infantry right now, and it would be nice to get some more of those on the field. So I am training spearmen in Nicaea, horse archers in Armenia, and like I was saying, javelins in Bulgaria, archers in Trebizond, and I am sending these units to Assyria and Edessa to hold this little frontier. Lesser Armenia, I'm still kind of leaving weak, but yeah, honestly, I probably should... I probably should consolidate forces in Edessa, but I really feel like they just kind of is inviting an attack. They already are spying on me here. And I just feel like this is where they're going to attack from, is into Syria. And I feel like the longer I hold a decent presence here, maybe the longer I can avoid that war, is the idea. They mostly have peasants. I'm looking at their armies and I'm like, man, I can beat this. Like they don't have much. This is like their quote-unquote best army, mostly just because of the generals here, but also because there's a few camels, Nubian spearmen, some archers as well, naphtha throwers. This is their best army. I'm going to send my spy to, or my emissary to spy on Sinai and Egypt to see what else they have, but in these provinces, it's mostly peasants, urban militia, and their Gulen bodyguards. That's pretty much it. And I probably would be able to cut through a lot of that. Now, if these generals got involved and turned those peasants into like super soldiers, maybe that would turn the tide. But, what we can do against super soldiers, even if they are just bolstered by this insane general, you can still shoot them full of arrows. So that would be the play there. The amount of horse archers that I'm training here in Armenia should really help on this front as well. I think it's a good unit. It's funny. It's so basic. It's such a basic unit. It's a tier 1 horse archer in this game. But I've really been impressed by its performance in melee and as an archer. I feel like with the times that I've sent it into a melee to like hold the line, I've been really impressed by it. So yeah, having those on the field, that's going to do a lot of damage to these peasants. Even the Nubian spearmen are not well armored. So yeah, I think that's okay. And I think that I can continue to focus my efforts on my economy and less so on my military. But I am sending soldiers in this direction, as I was saying. It's not a forgotten thing. It's just I'm focusing on a lot of stuff at once right now. Prince Manuel has now come of age. This is going to be my 3rd son. My 3rd in line. Let's check him out, see how he's doing. I am building some defensive upgrades here in Naples just in case. I just figured it. They're cheap. It's nice to have them just in case I need to hold out for a little bit longer. Port has been finished here in Greece, so now I can make an income off of the trade goods there. I think I still need a trading post built in Greece, but I'm eventually going to be getting ports in all of my provinces, so that's going to be the goal. It's going to be it's a long-term goal. And yeah, I'm also working on getting these defensive upgrades built here in Syria and is it Edessa as well? Horse breeder finished here in Nicaea. Yeah, just working on building up to getting Pronoia Legion built there as well. I don't think the horse breeder allows me to train anything new. I think it's just kind of a step along the way. And then, yeah, some more defensive upgrades here in Edessa. Prince Manuel, hard sums. So this man's ability to add up and get the same result every time gives him an envied monetary ability plus 1 acumen. Not bad, not bad. And anything else here? Oh, wow, look at that name. Stephen Macrembolitisa. Macrembolitisa. He's loyal, plus 1 loyalty. Good for him. Holy shit, Prince Manuel. Damn, dude. Check out this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 command stars. Then, yeah, 7 acumen, 4 dread. Damn, this guy is good. Man. Oh, man, I wish he was my next in line. Holy crap. Wow, where do I want him? I mean, where do I want him? Maybe on just the Western Front, because I have enough generals over here. I could use someone. Yeah, all I have over here is this 1-star general, this Byzantine infantryman, 1 command. Yeah, let's bring him over to my Western Front, and he can kind of just, hold that down over there. Aha! So here is the Egyptians' actual good soldiers. Nubian spears, Bedouin camel warriors, Saharan cav, and a lot of them. And in Sinai as well, there's a few more Bedouin camel warriors. So that's interesting. That almost felt like a trap, right? Where it's tempting, as is, to go to war with the Egyptians just based on what I saw in Palestine, Tripoli, and Antioch. Lots of peasants, a few Gulen bodyguards, that's kind of it. But then they have these provinces back here filled with troops that would actually give me a few issues. Nubian spears and Bedouin camel warriors are made for fighting in the desert, so I'm glad I scouted this out before I went in. Now my armies are getting there. They're getting to the point where they have some, troops that I feel comfortable taking into the desert, but I'm not there yet. I still probably want at least another stack and a half worth of troops before I feel comfortable with this. Even then, I could probably go in on the mercenaries and just kind of bring them. Oh, geez, yeah. A lot of them went away. That's unfortunate, but yeah. I could still bring mercenaries with me to the desert just for some added numbers. But I still do want, some pretty solid native stacks of my own to go into the desert. Oh boy, here comes the Egyptians. Okay, wow. Yeah, they're coming in pretty heavy here. So they outnumbered me by quite a bit. This is in Syria. This is going to be interesting. So their entire almost their entire set of reinforcements is going to be peasants. Not all of it. A lot of it, I mean, they do have a few Nubian spears and some urban militia, but it's mostly peasants. So can I beat their first wave is going to be the question. They are being led by their sultan, so their 3-star sultan is going to be leading the way here. And the first wave will have 3 units of Gulen bodyguards. In addition to that, they will be bringing 5 units of these Bedouin camel warriors. So I definitely cannot win the cav engagement. They're also bringing this 4-star guy here, and it's a good thing that he's not leading this army because he's one of the generals that gives +4 morale, so thank goodness he is not leading this army. So I cannot win the cav engagement. They do have some naphtha throwers as well. That could be tricky to deal with. And then 2 desert archers, 3 urban militia, and then 1 Nubian spearman. Leading my army is going to be my son, Prince Andronicus, and I believe this is actually my second in command. Unfortunately, he only has 6 men left in his unit because I can't train cataphracts yet, so I can't retrain my, my guy's bodyguard units. So that's unfortunate. He's going to be basically useless in combat, but he is a 5-star general. That's not nothing. And then, can I defend against this? Gosh, I don't know if I can because I don't quite have enough javelins. I would like more javelins. I do have 5 units of Trebizond archers. That can lay down some firepower. That really can. And then what? I basically have 2 units of javelins. And then like 3 units of spearmen. And then 3 units of horse archers. God, that would be tough. I would have to do a lot of damage with my arrows to have a chance of winning this. I could also bring in another unit of horse archers as well, just to maximize that firepower. Is there a unit that I'd want to sub it out for, though? Not really. Oh yeah, there's this unit of Byzantine infantry as well. They can, also do an okay job of holding the line. Yeah, I don't know. I might be able to do a lot of damage to this first wave, but honestly, once I run out of arrows, those peasants might just overwhelm me. However, if I can sort of either kill or capture the Egyptian Sultan, then perhaps the rest of the army will break and run away without a fight. I could retreat from this, but a part of me wants to just pump all of these arrows into this army and see what that can do. Maybe I can actually pull this off. To start things off, I think that in this battle, I do have a pretty decent high ground position. This is an okay hill, isn't it? It's sort of a ridge, it's a little bit narrow. But sometimes that can force the enemy into fighting on a very narrow front. And in this situation, that could favor me if that is the case. I will be holding the center with my javelin men and some swordsmen. And some spearmen, it appears, as well. And then on either flank, I'll have other spearmen and my Trebizond archers. And then in the rear, I have my horse archers and my general with his 6 men cataphract bodyguard. And I will be sending 2 more units of horse archers out ahead of the army to skirmish with the Egyptians before they're able to close in on my army. My horse archers spot a juicy target. They see that they have the desert archers essentially protecting this flank over here. So there is a unit of Ghulam bodyguards and Bedouin camel warriors that seem a little bit overextended on this flank, a little bit out of range of these archers being able to help out with this engagement. So if I can sort of come over to this side and maybe poke them a little bit and get these units to chase me and pull them away from the main engagement, that can be a win for my horse archers. I have reformed my army to better be able to, match and redraw and match the enemy's formation. Those Bedouin camel warriors are going to be dangerous, along with these Nubian spearmen, but now it appears like my archers have gotten the attention of these Ghulam bodyguards, and, well, I'm going to be focused on microing my main forces here in the center. I will essentially be setting my horse archers to skirmish mode. Now the Ghulam bodyguards want to chase this unit. Now this unit can fire into them. They've already lost a fair few guys and they're continuing to lose some models, and that's going to be good for me. And it looks like we may have caught the attention of a couple of units of Bedouin camel warriors as well. This is good value. Having these 3 powerful units chasing my 2 units of horse archers can be good for me, and my horse archers should be able to get away from all of these units. They are faster than all of them. So in this case, it looks like somehow it looks like this Ghulam bodyguard did catch this unit of horse archers that was set to skirmish mode. So I decided just to kind of take this fight. There's only 10 Ghulam bodyguards left, so I kind of thought maybe I can do a decent amount of damage to them, if not beat them. We will keep tabs and see how these horse archers do. As I've mentioned before, I have been impressed by how horse archers do fight. And then these horse archers should be able to kind of just keep skirmishing away from these 2 units of Bedouin camel warriors, taking them further away from the fight. Now, as we get up to the center, their other unit of Ghulam bodyguards have charged right into my Byzantine infantry, and I've sent in my feudal sergeants to support. My javelins are being thrown in, and they're just mowing down these units of Gulam bodyguards, camel warriors. Nubian spearmen will be facing off against my spearmen. I bring in my backup spearmen in reserves to kind of get a flanking on these urban militia. Looks like some Bedouin camel warriors are backing off a little bit, and I'm sending in my reserve spearmen on this side as well, leaving this side pretty weak on this side. We basically just have archers, but Trebizond archers, as I've said, can fight in melee, so this is okay. And this is a lot of firepower, a lot of archers. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of Trebizond archers pouring arrows into this. Not to mention, these horse archers are also firing as well. And this is going well for me. How are my horse archers doing? These horse archers did break. However, they got that unit of Gulam bodyguards down to 7 men. That's pretty good. And this unit of horse archers as well, they're not, somehow they got caught as well. I don't know how this keeps happening. They should be able to outrun these camel warriors. I guess I need to be more proactive with my micro and not just trust the skirmish mode. They are running away. That is a good thing for me because they should be able to outrun the camel warriors now that they are running away. And the fact that these 2 camel warriors plus this unit of Gulam bodyguards has been distracted this entire time is a really good thing for me. And it looks like in the center we have broken them, as my spearmen are pushing forward into this mass of soldiers. A lot of the guys are running away, so I kind of want to push this a little bit, especially now that the Egyptian Sultan is left alone. I want to surround him with my spearmen, and I decided to send my horse archers to sort of chase down as many units as I can because they are fast. And I want to bring my spearmen up closer to my lines so that I do not over pursue and then get my guys caught out, because I know that a lot of these units probably will rally, and I have to be careful of that. I want to get this unit of horse archers away so that I hopefully can use them in the rest of the battle. But now the question is going to be, can I kill the Egyptian Sultan and these horse archers as well? They need to get back because they were chasing down Bedouin camel warriors. But then those Bedouin camel warriors decided they wanted to stay and fight. And I'm like, no, I can't take that fight. Camels will eat my horses. I cannot let that be. And these guys, yeah, just get away. Survive. Looks like they want to rally. But no, don't rally. Keep running. Keep running because you're just distracting these camel warriors for me. That's perfect. Now that they are sending a few more units back into this melee, these camel warriors, these Nubian spearmen, I decided to send back down my spearmen and my javelin men that still had javelins to support this melee, because if the fight's going to be here, yes, it's tempting to redraw my lines back, closer to my archers, but I can take this fight, I think. Poking these camels with my spears is going to be a good fight for me. The Nubian spearmen have broken. That's very good because that is a tough unit to break. They are disciplined. And now the camels are running away. And now, again, the Egyptian Sultan stands alone. He's down to 5 men in his bodyguard. And I'm being conservative with my horse archers, but I am bringing up my general just so that he can be closer to the combat, so that he can provide his command boosts to my soldiers. And now at this point, I don't want all of my men fighting, because fighting does take energy. And just like that, it looks like we have killed the Egyptian Sultan. He has fallen in battle, and I have decided this is a good time for me to chase with my horse archers into these camel warriors, get as many kills as I can. And I have this unit of horse archers as well that I can unleash as well. So I'm really glad this unit of horse archers was able to keep, they stayed alive, right? That's really important. They stayed alive. They kept running away with their fast speed. They distracted those camels for a long time. Looks like there is still a few units that are not done fighting, but I feel like at this point I am relatively safe to send my horse archers to run down these infantry units on this side. Getting rid of these Nubian spearmen feels good. Getting rid of these desert archers also feels good. If we can pick off any Bedouin camel warriors, which is a slower unit than my horse archers, that would also be very good, but I'm not too hopeful of that. We will see what we can get done here, though. It is important to keep in mind that I know that there is reinforcements on the way, but knowing that it's pretty much all peasants, I'm not too concerned about having my horse archers caught out of position. I think that they are pretty safe to get as much damage done as they can right here. Looks like there's a whole nother unit of desert archers that I can cut down, and I will take that grab. This is a good archer unit, and this is a good time for me to kill them. It's going to be interesting to see that with the death of the Egyptian Sultan, will the peasant horde that will be coming on as reinforcements, will they even want to fight at all? That's going to be the question here. This Egyptian army seems thoroughly beaten. So will the peasants decide that they could stand a chance at fighting me, or will they decide to just to bugger off? And with that, I think that the Egyptians have decided just to bugger off because they will not be coming back on. There will be no more waves of troops. And my Byzantine army has stood strong. They've defended this province. And we've done a fair bit of damage to the Egyptian army, although there's still a lot more peasants left to kill. And I know that there's a lot more Nubian spearmen and Bedouin camel warriors in reserve. But this is not a bad first defense. Oh, what a glorious victory. That was lovely. Yes, I was able to win that one. It feels pretty good. I killed 435. I lost 259. My guys held strong. That was pretty solid, wasn't it? Yeah, and I did kill the Egyptian Sultan, so I guess I won't be getting a ransom. That's too bad, but yeah. My archers did very well. They did a lot of kills, but I think the MVPs in that one were my horse archers. They just did a fantastic job of luring the camel warriors and the Gulen bodyguards off into the distance and did a lot of damage to them in the process. And then my javelins as well. Let's see, 40 kills on this unit of javelins for the Spanish javelins, and then the Slav javelins got 31 as well. So yeah, they did a lot of good work. Yeah, that one feels good. Feels good to start the war with the Egyptians off with a victory. So let's see. Did we end up at war with the Italians? Did the Italians just go to war with us? We just sunk a ship. We just sunk an enemy ship. Okay. So ransom refused. I did capture 149 men, including one noble, Prince al-Mustali, but they refused the ransom, so all of those men will die. And yes, his heir is taken over for the Egyptian Sultan, so they will live on. Yeah, all of that's finished, and now I need to know what's going on. So I'm at war with the Italians. What the hell? So they attacked my boat? They attacked my fucking boat? Okay, so the Hungarians have ended their alliance with me, and so have the Poles. Man, there goes my security on my western border. Oh, God. Okay, interesting. Wow, George Branas is a honorable warrior. Well, I don't remember you fighting in that battle, but so be it, I guess. +1 morale and -1 dread. Okie dokie. So I'm at war with the Italians. Oh man, that doesn't feel good. I mean, I sunk their boat, so that's good. And I should just get an automatic ceasefire because I'm not bordering any of their provinces. And I don't have any boats bordering or in a sea region that's bordering any of their provinces. So I should get an automatic ceasefire. That's how that works. So, yeah. And that's too bad though, because I was going to be putting... This is the turn that I was going to be putting a boat in the Adriatic, but just because I want that ceasefire, I'm going to have to wait one more turn to put a boat in the Adriatic just to get that, that ceasefire going. And yeah, all right. Yeah, we did some damage against the Egyptians. Not like, crippling damage. Like they still have a bunch of peasants here in Antioch that they could do anything with. And I suppose it's going to be time for me to call in my mercenaries. Unfortunately, this is not a lot. I was hoping for more, but that's going to be enough to stem the tide until, again, I'm sending native troops over as well. And yeah, I did a fair bit of damage to them. I did. Like Tripoli is completely empty. And so I'm guessing their Sultan ended up back here in Egypt. So I'll send my emissary over here to check that out. But yeah, the war started with the Egyptians. So there's going to be time for a pushback against them. And finish taking the desert back so that we can really make a lot of money off of all of these provinces. That's going to be nice. But now that relations against or with the Catholic factions in the West has gotten a little bit shaky, yeah, things have gotten a little bit interesting now because I will be taking provinces that the Crusader factions will want to capture using their crusades. So there's going to be a target painted on my back sooner rather than later. But that's all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Step playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.